Oh, yeah.
Just found out.
So 5 easy payments on everything, QVC.com and on air. This is Chef Joe McAllister.
Hello.
Brings us Cook's Essentials here at QVC, which is one of our proprietary brands.
Absolutely,
right?
for 20 years now.
20 years.
Yeah.
And they bring us a lot of versatility. One of the things with pressure cookers, you know, me being a household of 2, sometimes, you know, I like the concept of pressure cooking, but they can get really big, right? This one is that perfect size if you're downsizing, if you are that household of 2 that just wants a little leftovers, or if you're making side dishes for, you know, larger events and parties, a 2-quart pressure cooker with presets for less than $40. Can you walk me through why pressure cooking before I mention the color?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start right here with the lid. So pressure cooking is a lot safer than maybe in your grandmother's day. Back in the day, we had those stovetop pressure cookers, and there was a bell that clanked on the top, right? So it's a very different scenario now. Basically, you have a lock or unlock position. So when it's in the lock position, which is this way, when the lid is, there's a little pressure in there, right?
There you go.
This way, and then to unlock it, you take it off there. You're either under pressure here, or you're releasing the steam.
And it tells you.
Yeah, exactly. And then this guy right here, you're looking at that gasket, that's a safety feature as well right inside, because that seals when we're doing the cooking process.
What do you have in there?
This is a pasta bake that we actually did.
That looks good.
So what we did is we put the dry ingredients in, and then your wet ingredients mixed in, and then, oh my goodness, is that delicious.
And even veggies.
Yes, vegetables in there as well. And the dry pasta is ready in 5 minutes. That is a delicious, wonderful tomato cream that we're doing here. That's just beautiful. A primavera style, because we have those vegetables in it.
Right.
So that's really,
well,
really
imagine
cool.
that. You know, look at what Chef Joe is serving out of this 2-quart pressure cooker here. And he just said, prepared in 5 minutes from dry ingredients.
That's
Even in my microwave, I can't make pasta in 5 minutes, right? Because it takes time to boil water.
That's
water
right.
alone takes a long time. Here, it's not just the pasta, but you have veggies and other things going on as well.
That's right.
Let me just mention the colors. So if you like the color that Chef Joe has right here in front, this is the stainless steel. And then we have this red choice, which we call cinnamon. We also have the copper. We have eggplant. We actually have more colors. We have blue. And then next to that blue is the green. So 5 colors altogether to choose from. That green is most limited, K46039. The other thing is this one does have 6 easy payments. I mentioned easy pay day means 5 or more, everything on air and on QVC.com. This one's 6. So I'm sorry, 5 easy payments. So it's $8 to get that home.
Oh,
very,
wow.
very popular.
That's easy.
Very easy. With over 55,000 sold. And here's the thing, if you look at our assortment of pressure cookers on QVC.com, many of them are larger. This one is that perfect 2-quart size, family of 2, some leftovers, those side dishes, but you're not sacrificing on any of the functions. There's a lot of presets built in here.
No, in fact, it's a small footprint, about 10 inches on your counter. So that's a wonderful thing. About 6 pounds in weight. The insert, of course, comes out, so that goes into the dishwasher.
Non-stick insert, or is that steel?
Non-stick on the inside.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have features here. We can brown, we can cook rice, we can make eggs if we want. We can also pressure cook either on a low pressure at about 7.5 pounds per square inch, or high pressure like this, which is 15 pounds per square inch.
So how long does this take to make?
This takes 50 minutes. So you're going to have an active time of searing this. So I brown this in the bottom for about 20 minutes.
That is a big chunk of meat.
I know, that's right. It's about 2 pounds of food in here, about 1.5 pounds with this chuck roast. And what you see is that in 50 minutes, look at that, it's just fork tender. Look how that's just shredding like that. That's beautiful. And that's what we like.
This is what I'm talking about when I say leftovers. That is a lot of food. And by the way, there's still more in here.
There is.
You haven't done the veggies. There's a little bit of more meat in there too.
Exactly. So when you have the vegetables in here, and this is the thing that I love about this size, I can actually power this down put my vegetables in a little bit later in the cooking process so they're not real mushy. I like to have the texture, right? So that's a wonderful thing there. And we have leftovers for the next day.
You really do. You know when you're using your regular oven versus the countertop oven, how that countertop oven heats up faster, it's a little bit more efficient, right? It's kind of the same concept here. It's smaller, of course you're cooking less food, 2 pounds, which is still a lot.
Right.
But as a result, it's got less space that it needs to pressurize, right? So you can do some of this cooking a little bit faster, maybe have a little more flexibility in terms of what you're adding in, when, the timing, all of that. We actually have a chart to show you if you're interested on what the pressure cooking times are, because what happens is you're cooking things a lot faster, but you're not sacrificing flavor or moisture.
That's right.
We'll take a look at this and then we'll get back to these
we'll come back to these
here.
grits in 1 second. When you look at this chart, you can actually see that in many cases you're shaving off 2/3 of your cooking time. So if you look at the top roast, a rib roast, you see right there, if we're going to put it in the oven, it's up to 33 minutes per pound if I'm going to have that cooked towards the well side, 15 minutes per pound if I'm going to do that right here in a pressure cooker. So that's a marvelous thing right there. And then when you look at a whole chicken, because when you cook a 3-pound chicken, 24 minutes per pound, we've got it down to 5 minutes per pound. And it's moist. The result is tender. It's falling off the bone tender, which is wonderful. Grits are done in about 10 minutes, Kathy.
10 minutes.
And here, you're just stirring in a little bit of cheddar cheese for me. And if you like, we can also put in some ham.
Yeah, let's do that.
And the grits are wonderful because they convey the salt, the pepper, the butter, all the things we love, but we can also dress that up if we want to. And if you would be so kind, you can actually pour.
Would you like a little portion?
That would be fantastic.
Or a big portion.
It's usually me serving. I love this.
There
you
go.
Fantastic. But you can see how beautiful that is. Cheesy and gorgeous.
They seem to be like perfect texture here.
That's right. And they're not instant grits. These are the kind of grits that are going to usually take about 30 minutes when you cook them in a traditional way. Here they're done in 10 minutes. Isn't that wonderful?
I also really like that pot is non-stick on the inside. I assume that's dishwasher safe?
It is. So we'll put that into the top rack of the dishwasher. Comes out very easily.
Look at that.
And you see how easy that is to handle. We'll do that one more time. So, yeah.
Sometimes they're stainless steel on the inside, so that just makes it easier for you to clean. Speaking of stainless steel, remember that is one of the colors we have. Stainless steel, red, copper, the red is called cinnamon. Stainless steel, cinnamon, copper. This one here is called eggplant, that's the purple. And then we have blue and green for you. So 5 colors all together to choose from, whether you're cooking from wet ingredients, dry ingredients. I noticed this in here has beans. Were those put in dry too?
So yes, you can put in your dry beans, and you're cutting down on your cooking time there as well. You can have beans from dry in about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Beans from dry, I'll say it again, in about 15 minutes. That's an amazing thing right there, because normally we have to soak them overnight, put them in the fridge,
so you're talking
cold water.
8 to 10 hours.
That's right. Here we've got a beautiful minestrone, because this time of year, when it's cold outside, this is the kind of soup that just hugs you with warmth and nutrition. Look at that. It's hearty. It's delicious. It's my favorite kind of soup this time of year.
You know, it's one of those things, pressure cookers, and again, this size, 2 quarts, is perfect for a household of 2. You want a little leftovers, those side dishes. You know, a soup like this, obviously you could serve a little more if it's 1 cup per person as the serving size. But I've had times when, like, my husband comes home, I didn't really, he started feeling a little sick, and I didn't really know, we weren't planning for it. And I was like, gosh, chicken soup is always the best thing, right?
Yeah.
But that could take a process too. You're making the stocks, you're doing all these things. So that's when, like, the pressure cooker, in less than an hour, I had a really nice, nutritious kind of soup ready to go. I didn't have to make stock for 4 hours ahead of time and freeze it. It was very quick.
In fact, you could take a bone-in, skin-on chicken breast, make a perfect broth in about 10 minutes.
You see?
And that meat then you can just peel right off of the bone and leave that in the broth. But you're absolutely right. Broth, when you're not feeling well, boy, it just makes you, it's a pick-me-up is what it is.
Well, and the alternative is to be in the kitchen for hours.
That's right. So here what we did is we did barbecue chicken. So you need about 1 cup of liquid in here. That's something I'll call out right away. away because if you're cooking dry, you're not going to have a good result. You really need some liquid. And the great thing about this is we're using thighs, we're using legs, we're using the dark meat of the chicken, and you can see how tender that is just with about a cup of your favorite sauce. So whether that is a recipe that you have, your own recipe for sauce, or your favorite sauce from the supermarket, but you can see in about 15 minutes how tender and delicious that is. So that's a marvelous thing. And then we could just put that right on your potato rolls.
Oh, I mean,
some
that's a
red
lot of
onion.
food. That's a lot of food.
Great.
Can you show me some of the little button details here?
Absolutely. So when we look down here, we're going to see right away that we can cook on high pressure right there. So we mentioned earlier that's about 15 pounds per square inch. Low pressure is 7.5 pounds per square inch. So maybe I am doing a vegetable dish.
Right.
That's when I would use the low pressure right there. Over here, we can keep it warm. We can slow cook. So you can actually use it as a slow cooker. Just leave it on your countertop. Maybe we're doing something like a French onion soup.
Having a party, the little meatballs,
yes,
party
the meatballs, the sausage and cheese dip, that kind of thing. That's perfect. And then down here, of course, you can see that we can do rice, we can do eggs, we have a browning feature so that when I want to brown the chuck roast before I do the pressure cooking, I can do that in here.
Right in the pot.
Right in the pot.
You don't have to worry about browning it in a separate dish, then transferring it over.
That's
Less
exactly
dishes for you. These are really easy one-pot meals with veggies, with your proteins, with whatever it is that you like, the whole pasta bake. I do want to quickly remind you, after we show you this, because I have to see what's in here. What is this?
Chicken and dumplings.
Ooh,
so
that looks
keeping
good.
with the chicken theme, and we're gonna do a double dose on the starch here because we're putting that right over mashed potatoes.
Wow.
So I'm starving. Give me starch. There you go. Look at that.
Isn't
That's
that
beautiful.
funny how that happened? When you're hungry, you're like, I don't want a salad.
That's right. No, you don't want a salad.
Bread,
Yeah,
potatoes,
exactly.
meat. It's something about that. I actually just thought about that yesterday for some odd reason. Let me remind you of our color choices because we do have quite a bit. I'll show you down here and we'll work backwards.
Right there. Okay.
Because we have the cinnamon option here. That's your red choice. Remember, this is 2 quarts, right? So you're downsizing, family of 2, your side dishes, this is that stainless steel. Think about those big holidays that you might be entertaining for coming up, right? Those dips and those little party meatballs. This is the green, the blue, and then over here we have that purple eggplant, and then we also have the copper.
There you
know,
go.
the other thing about the pressure cooking, which we didn't really talk about yet, it's not just your kind of lunches and dinners, right? I mean, I know grits can be breakfast, depending for some people, but you can also. Can't I also make like a cheesecake or a flan in a pressure if I had a smaller dish?
Yeah, all you need is about a 4-inch dish. So if you have Temptations bakeware, oven-safe bakeware, that's going to work in here. You put it right in there, and what you do is you make a little sling with some foil so you can pull that out because it's going to be a little on the hot side, right? And it's going to retain that heat for a while. So you can use that to pull that out, but you can absolutely do a perfect cheesecake,
so more than
a pudding,
just dinner.
a pot de creme, anything, a bread pudding. Bread puddings are
How about some mulled wine since it has that slow cooker option?
That's a great idea. I love that. This is a saffron rice that we did with chickpeas. So it's a beautiful side dish. And again, done in about 10 minutes. And then over here, we did a dessert. We have
a little
rum raisin
pudding. Look at that.
There it is.
You know what's funny? I really like this too for oatmeal. You put in your oatmeal in the morning, 10 minutes, and you're ready to go.
Those steel
nice
cut
rice
oats,
pudding
those
here.
Irish oats. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Okay, quick reminder. This red is the cinnamon, stainless steel, green, blue. The eggplant is purple, and then we have the copper down at the end. It's less than $40, $8 on Easy Pay, K46039. Chef Joe is coming back to us with something that's really different. So essentially, you're making